Have you been thinking about buying a home in the near future and you're wondering what steps you need to take in order to get from point A to the close on the sale of your new home? Well, in today's video, I'm going over just that, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, I'm Bryce Greenleaf. I'm a local real estate agent here in the greater Seattle area, and I make videos all about living in Seattle, moving to this area, the local real estate. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you get notified whenever I make a new video. And also if you would, give this video a thumbs up, that really helps me out and be able to reach some more people. If you've got any questions on the Seattle area about what it's like to live here and things you need to think about when moving here, or if it's about the local real estate and buying or selling, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm more than happy to answer any of the questions that you've got. You can reach me here at my info on the screen via call, text, or email, or you can comment down below and I'd be more than happy to reply to your question. But without further ado, let's jump into the 10 steps to buying your first home. All right, step number one is you need to get your credit in order. Now, you can't buy a home if you've got a 400 credit score, so you've got to make sure your credit is up where it needs to be. Now, traditionally, you could buy a home with a score as low as a 580 with an FHA 3.5% down home loan. Now, things have tightened up a little bit, and there's really no lenders that are lending as low as 580 anymore because of the pandemic. They've tightened some things up. So really, for most of the programs, you need to shoot for at least a 620 credit score on the low end. There are some programs that'll be available to you at that credit score, but of course, the higher your credit score, the better the interest rate you're gonna get. So you wanna shoot for as high as you can. A good point to try and shoot for is at least 700. Now, that's not to say that if you've got under a 700 score, you can't buy a home, because many people do. Just make sure you shoot for at least a 620 minimum and try to get it up as high as you can. All right, and step number two is you need to save a little bit of money. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, you know there are options to buy a home with zero down, no money out of pocket. However, there are a couple caveats to this. The main one being, when you buy a home, when you make an offer on a home, you have to put down what's called an earnest money deposit. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that you can buy a home zero down. There are many different zero down home buying options. You can watch that video right up here and it'll go into depth with you on how to buy a home zero down. But along with that, you still need some money available at your disposal, because when you make an offer on a home, you have to put down what's called an earnest money deposit. Now, this is a deposit to show good faith to the seller that you're actively trying to purchase their home and you're not going to just jerk them around. So you've got to put a deposit down on the home. Now, there's no standard set rate. It is completely negotiable, but sellers expect that you put at least 1% down for that earnest money deposit, and many buyers will put 2 to 3% down in order to be more competitive in multiple offer situations. But if you're looking to buy a $500,000 home, I would suggest you have at least $5,000 saved up that we can put towards that deposit. Now, it is a deposit, it's not a fee. So it will get refunded to you once we get to the closing table. So it's just something that you need to have available for at least the 30-day period where we're in escrow working towards closing on that sale. So make sure you save up a little bit of money. While there are some zero down buying options, there is still some things that you're gonna need some money for. All right, step number 3 is to contact a real estate agent, real estate broker. Make sure you get in touch with somebody that you feel like you can trust, that knows what they're doing, because like any industry, there are some that are better than others. You wanna make sure you're aligned and working with somebody that's always gonna keep your best interests in mind. Your real estate agent is gonna be your main point of contact through the entire transaction. They're gonna help you look for homes, they're gonna negotiate contracts, they're gonna give you advice on what the best things are to do, what things you should avoid. We do many different things for you, so it's very important that you get aligned with somebody that you feel like you can trust and will take care of you and will do a great job for you. All right, and step number 4, after you've reached out to a real estate agent, you want to get connected with a mortgage lender to get approved for a mortgage. Now, the reason I say this one after getting connected to a real estate agent is because if you don't already know a mortgage lender, your real estate agent will, or they should have somebody they can recommend to you that you work with, because you want to get aligned with, just like a real estate agent, with a lender that's really going to work hard for you and do a really good job for you, because there are some that are better than others and some that you might want to avoid using. So talk to your real estate agent about some good lenders that you could talk to and see what you can get qualified for. They're going to take in your financial information, look at your credit score, your pay stubs, all that kind of stuff, figure out what loan program might work best for you, and get you qualified for that lending program. All right, now once you're qualified and ready to go, step number 5 is to make your wish list and start house shopping. So now that we've got your budget, after you've got pre-approved, we want to see what we can fit in that budget that works for you. You want to talk about what the most important things are to you in a home. Do you need a big lot? Do you want a small lot? Do you need a 2-story home? Do you want a rambler? Do you need 3 bedrooms? Do you need 5 bedrooms? Do you want to be in this city or this neighborhood or that neighborhood? Do you want an older home or a newer home? Do you want a fixer or something that's brand spanking new? There's a lot of different things that you want to consider, so you want to sit down with your real estate agent, talk about what is most important to you in a home, and then with your budget, figure out what you can actually afford. There may be some sacrifices you might have to make. With your budget, you might not be able to get every single little thing that you want, but you want to figure out what the most important things are to you, and then you're going to go out with your real estate agent and start looking at homes. So step number 6, after you've started looking at homes, you find the one that you really like, you're going to make an offer on that home. Now, there's many different things that go into play when making an offer. It's not just offering a purchase price. There are different contingencies like inspection contingencies, financing, appraisal, many different things that you need to factor into your offer. One of those is also that earnest money deposit that I talked about in step number 2 when it came to saving some money. So you need to sit down with your real estate agent and talk about those different points of the offer. Your real estate agent is also going to reach out to the listing agent, or they should reach out to the listing agent, which is the agent for the sellers, see what the situation is, see if they've already got multiple offers on the home, and kind of what the activity has been, because especially in today's market, you're likely not going to get a home for under list price. You're going to have to pay at least list price, or in most cases over asking price. So you kind of want to get a feel for where you may need to be and how competitive that situation might be, and then sit down with your real estate agent and formulate an offer that could be competitive in that situation. Because if you're competing against multiple different offers, you want to submit something strong that gives you a good chance to actually get that home. All right, in step number 7, this ties back into step number 2. This is the earnest money deposit that I was talking about. So after you've got your offer accepted on a home, you're gonna, within 48 hours, 48 business hours, you're gonna deposit your earnest money with the escrow company. Now, like I said, there is no set standard rate. This is negotiable, but I highly recommend you offer at least 1% for this earnest money. If you can swing it, 2 to 3% is gonna make you more competitive in those offer situations, but whatever number was agreed upon in the contract, you're gonna then deposit that money with the escrow company within 48 hours, and that will be held with them until closing day. Now, once you get to closing day, 30 days later, or however many days your closing period is, that money is either gonna get applied to your down payment, or if you don't have a down payment, then it's gonna get applied to your closing costs. Or if your closing costs are paid for by the seller, then that earnest money will get refunded to you. So it's not a fee, but it's just a deposit that needs to be held for the length of your escrow period. All right, step number 8 is inspections and appraisal. So likely you're gonna get an inspection on the home because you wanna make sure that home is solid and is something that you wanna buy and invest in. So usually when you write your offer, you're gonna put in an inspection contingency. So after the offer is accepted, usually within 5 to 7 days, you're gonna get that inspection done. The inspector's gonna go out there, look at the home, go in the crawl space, go in the attic, look at everything, go on the roof, and he's gonna work up a report for you for any things that may be wrong with the home. Now, this gives you an opportunity then to renegotiate with the sellers if you want some repairs made, if you need the purchase price reduced because there's something really wrong with the home that you need the financing to be able to fix. It's just a chance to renegotiate. Or you may be completely satisfied with what's going on and just tell the seller, hey, you're ready to move on. You don't have any other requests from them. After the inspection takes place, then the appraisal will take place. So whatever lender you're using, they're gonna send an appraiser out to make sure the home is actually worth what you're buying it for. They're not gonna lend you $600,000 on a home that's only worth $500,000. That would be a bad investment for them. So they've gotta make sure that home is actually worth what you're purchasing it for. So they will send that appraiser out. Usually in this area, in the Seattle area, it's about $750 for that appraisal, but that will happen shortly after the inspection. All right, step number 9 is the final walkthrough and your final loan approval. So usually about 3 days prior to closing, you're gonna have a chance to walk through that house again. That's just to make sure that the home is what you think it was. It didn't, in this 30-day closing period, it didn't catch on fire. Nobody went and punched a bunch of holes in the wall. Nothing went wrong with the house. You're just making sure it's in the same or better condition as it was when you agreed to purchase it. Now, after you've done this walkthrough, maybe even before, but we're just waiting for your final loan approval. So we'll hear from your lender, hey, the underwriter gave us the thumbs up, the final sign off. You are now approved for this mortgage and we can proceed with closing on the sale of the home. And that leads us to to step number 10. The final step is to sign your closing documents. So once they've given you the final thumbs up, the final approval on your home loan, you're gonna schedule a time to sign closing documents with the escrow company. You're either gonna go into their office and sign them, or they're gonna send a mobile notary out to wherever you live right now and have you sign those documents. Usually that will happen a day or two before we actually close. Sometimes it will happen on the morning of. It just depends on the timing of everything. But just because you sign the documents doesn't mean you're officially closed. You're officially closed on your closing date after the sale has been funded and recorded with the county. So at this point, once it's been funded and recorded on closing day, you are officially a homeowner and you're all done. You've got the keys to your new home and you're ready to move in. So this wraps up the 10 steps that you need to take in order to buy your first home. If you've got any questions on the subject, definitely reach out to me here at my info on the screen. You can call, text, or email me, or you can just leave a comment down below. I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions, or if you've got other questions related to buying a home, I'd be happy to make videos on those topics as well. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos, and if you could give this a thumbs up, that would be very, very much appreciated. But thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.